Okay, in this first video, I'm going to talk about how special education sort of started and how people with special needs were looked at in the past. Very far back in our history, people with special needs were often looked down upon as people who didn't matter, and they were often feared. But in 90 BC, the temples built by Alexander the Great provided asylum for the mentally ill persons, and around that time, the first attempts at classifying mental illnesses were started, as well as advocating appropriate treatment for those with these illnesses. And then in the late 1700s, Jean-Marc Itard, he was a physician. He sought new methods to teach those with mental challenges after he found a boy in the woods who was obviously lost and he wasn't getting treated, and he worked really hard with this boy, and even though he wasn't able to teach him to talk or to live independently, his efforts began a big movement in treatment and education for people with mental disabilities. Residential schools began to appear in the 1800s, and in 1904, a summer training session for teachers for children who were mentally challenged began training at this school in New Jersey. There are some community organizations that had influence on the need for special education, and that included Easter Seals, Joseph Kennedy Jr. Foundation, Special Olympics, the ARC, that's supposed to say the ARC, Autism Speaks, and the Gordon Hartman Foundation. And the Easter Seals was started by Edgar Allan, who saw that children with disabilities were often hidden from the public, and this organization opened about over 500 centers that provided services for people with special needs and their families. And then another one, the Joseph Kennedy Jr. Foundation, that emphasized the need to assist families by giving them resources if they didn't know what to do, and these included the people who had children with disabilities in the community and for their families.